Ranked is upon us again.
Oh no.
And this time the starting point of Bronze League is taking place with tier 6 ships in a 6v6 format. To mark the start of the ranked season, I thought I'd do a quick look at what I think are the best picks for each ship class. No, not you. And what makes them so powerful. I went into this video intending to only look at ships that are actually available for purchase or are in the tech tree. But for my destroyer pick, there is only really one option, which is the T61. And oh my god, if you have the T61, I don't really think there's any better choice for ranked, full stop. But what makes the T61 so insanely powerful? Well, she's just good at everything.
I don't know what this is, but it's kind of hot.
Her AP DPM is outstanding, and whilst her HE DPM is not the best in her class, her penetration with these rounds certainly is, which enables her to make light work of pretty much anything you could possibly face at tier 6.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Her torpedoes are also exceptional, with a rapid reload time and pretty acceptable performance in all other areas. She's also got one of the highest hit point totals out of any tier 6 destroyer, and on top of that her concealment is one of the lowest at her tier 2, and whilst her smoke is typically German, in other words, shit, she has access to Hydro, which is an insanely useful tool to have under her belt. Of course, there are downsides. She's not quite kamikaze level after all. On top of her aforementioned relatively poor HE DPM and smoke performance, she's pretty slow. With a base speed of only 35 knots, she's one of the slowest tier 6 destroyers. Her AA performance is also awful, but what tier 6 destroyer doesn't have awful AA? So yeah, the T61 is just insanely powerful in pretty much any manner you could ask her to be. She can gunboat, she can torp, she can cap, she's a real asset to any team she's on, and she's definitely the best pick for a destroyer at this tier. If you're not lucky enough to already own this ship, honourable mentions go to the Farragut, Guepard, and Igel. I'm sorry French people, I definitely butchered those pronunciations. So, how about a cruiser? Well, my pick is a premium again, but at least this ship is actually available for purchase. It's of course the Perth. This ship is so ridiculously strong for this format that it's not even fair. Let's start with her concealment, which is ridiculously low at 8.8 kilometers fully upgraded, making her the second stealthiest cruiser at this tier. This combines well with her access to the crawling smokescreen consumable, which allows her to stay hidden in her smokescreen whilst moving at a quarter speed for 90 seconds before upgrades and flags. This gives her unrivaled stealth and flexibility at a tier with no radar to play counter to this combination. What really makes this stand out though is that she has access to a spotter plane. This gives her the ability to spot for herself while she's inside her smokescreen, which is invaluable for attempts to carry a game if your teammates are not quite up to task, let's say. To go along with this, her maneuverability is more than up to purpose, with an excellent rudder shift time and a more than serviceable turning radius. Finally, unlike the British ships she's based on, she has access to high explosive shells, which are invaluable in a small scale game mode like Ranked, when you can't always guarantee you'll have a crossfire. Whilst her DPM isn't amongst the best in class, it's more than acceptable for her purpose. Oh, and she has Hydro too, if it wasn't good enough. However, unlike some ships, she does have some downsides to pay for all these benefits. She's got one of the lowest health pools at her tier, along with her armor being absolutely horrific, and unlike her sister ship Leander, she does not have access to a heal. She's also got a ridiculously low main battery firing range, although that matters much less in rank than it does in randoms. Finally, much like T61, her AA suite is absolutely dreadful, but if you play your cards right, carriers shouldn't be much of an issue anyway. If you don't have or want to get a perf, honourable mentions go to Grafspee, Leander, and Dallas. Finally, let's look at the best battleship, and it's finally a tech tree ship, hooray!
Finally!
Fuso is the Japanese tier 6 battleship, and she's an absolute monster in this format. First of all, her health pool is ridiculously high, which along with her armor being excellent when facing only tier 6s means she has incredible survivability. Surprisingly though, she doesn't really suffer much in terms of mobility for this protection, as her top speed of 24.5 knots is pretty average for a tier 6 battleship. Her firepower is where she really shines though. Boasting a 12 barrel broadside of 14-inch guns, she has the potential to devastate any target she's fighting if enough of her shells connect, and her firing angles are more than good enough to ensure that she's able to keep a good number of these guns on target at any one time. Because of this huge broadside and her acceptable reload, she actually has the best DPM of any tier 6 battleship, and her accuracy actually isn't that bad when you consider how much shit she throws at the wall. Her range of almost 22 kilometers is almost comedically excessive for this format as well. However, there are of course some large downsides. Large like her size, which contributes to her horrific maneuverability and her absolutely orbital detection range. Continuing the pattern from my previous picks, her AA is atrocious, and her poor Sigma may punish you at times if RNG just looks down at you unfavourably. It was a very close toss-up between Fuso and Repulse for this pick, so honestly, either ship would be an excellent choice. If you want a more detailed look at Repulse, go look at my video for it in the card up there somewhere, top right, or something like that. Honourable mentions go to Ishmael, Bayern, and Issei for the memes, why not? And if you really want a carrier pick, just go with Air Superiority Bayern. Maybe I'll have to make a video on her in the future.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
So there we go, tier 6 ranked. I hope these ships bring you great success, and I hope the bronze grind isn't too painful for you. Let me know how you get down.
What did he say?
Let me know how you get on down in the comments. Let me know what you think the best choices are for ranked to tier 6. I'd love to hear your opinions. Next week, I'll take a look at the best choices for tier 8 rank, so don't forget to subscribe and press the notification bell so you don't miss that one. Captain builds for all the ships I mentioned can be found in World of Warships.
No. He's got a point.
Can be found in the World of Warships Captain's Guide Google Doc down in the description as always. Quick special announcement for the end. I'm now officially a part of the World of Warships Community Contributors Program, which is super exciting for both me and hopefully for you guys as well. It's going to bring a lot of awesome stuff to the channel and give me a lot of opportunities to give a lot of stuff back to you guys who make this all possible, so I'm really excited. Thanks to Wargaming for having me, and thank you to you guys for giving me all the support to make this possible. It's so appreciated, so yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like if you enjoyed and dislike if you didn't. Let me know what you think of this format as well. If you guys enjoy this format of looking at ships for certain game modes, I'll probably continue it for other stuff like clan battles or whatever, you know. Let me know. Now go out there and work for that steel.